Gritty Urban Saga. Alright, I'm going to split this report into two parts because if I don't, it's not going to sound very objective. Yeah, I'll just start with what's happened here. Now, what has happened is the U.S. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. It's a big, long word that just means a secretive court that can do things above just the federal courts. Now, what they've done is they have reinstated the intelligence agency's ability to collect our phone data. So if you've been following the news, or if you haven't, I'll just explain it here. Last month, a federal judge by the name of Richard Leon ordered the NSA and these agencies to stop collecting our phone data because the NSA was previously had a blanket over everyone in the United States. As soon as you pick up a phone, they were listening. They were collecting your phone data, no matter who you were, no matter where you are. U.S. citizens, they were affected. So Richard Leon, this federal judge, cited that it was unconstitutional, that it was an invasion of our privacy, and it just everything. That everything that they were doing was basically against the ideals that were laid out in the Constitution. So it got taken away. They lost their right to listen to our phone calls and collect our data. Now, what the U.S. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court did is they went behind all of our backs. They went above all of that, and they reinstated that right. So now we're back under this. So everybody's phone calls are being listened to. If you pick up a phone, NSA is listening. They said it's very limited how they use this information. Now, I say it like that because it's not limited. How is it limited? Like, the definition of the word limited means that it's not going to be everywhere. It's not going to affect everything. It's a small event. A limited edition of something means that it's not going to be everywhere. A limited viewing means that not everyone's going to be in there viewing it. So if you say, I hate when companies and the government mince words to try to get the public to believe what they're trying to say. How is it limited if it affects everyone? If it affects every United States citizen who picks up a phone, it's not limited. That's a bald-faced lie from an agency that's supposed to be protecting us, is lying straight to our faces with their statements. So how are we supposed to believe anything else? And on top of that, I guess this is the second part I was talking about, where I'm sharing my opinions and how this has gotten to me. Now, they offered no details. Their release about passing this or reinstating this ability of the NSA and these agencies to collect our phone data, the release has no details. So not only have they gone behind the public's back and over this federal judge who used the Constitution to rule this unconstitutional, they have also given us no clue about how much this encompasses. So they've taken away rights, and they've not given the public the awareness, even the awareness to know why it's affecting us or why it was reinstated. If the U.S. President Obama says that there need to be serious reforms, they really need to look into retooling the way we collect this data. If he has said these things, then I'm not quoting him. I'm saying that was the overall idea of what I got from the things he said about the NSA and all of this. Now, if our figurehead, if the person who is supposed to be the leader of our country has said that these things need to happen, and then they just go over and above that and pass this behind our backs, now who's in charge? Is this a democracy at that point? If the person who's leading us even says this needs to happen, and they're going behind even his back to pass this, who's in charge of this country at that point? The reason that they're doing these things is because they know if they release this to the general public, if they let the general public vote on if we want our data collected, that they'll lose, that agency will not be open next year. And if it is, it won't have those particular rights to do these things. And so in their fear, what they've done is they've used the system to their own advantage to just collect our data anyway, even though constitutionally and federally it's already been said that it's wrong. So that's the problem I'm having with this. I really think that every United States citizen should be able to vote for or against this. I don't care if they're old, young, rich, poor. I think every person who owns a telephone should be able to vote on this particular issue. I'm not saying everyone should be able to vote for everything. There should still be channels that you go through to vote like a normal option. But In this particular case, if it's going to not be limited, like they're saying, if it's going to affect everyone, then everyone should be able to vote. Gritty Urban Saga.